So most trading psychology advice sounds like this. Control your emotions, be disciplined, don't revenge trade, trust your system. But what's the problem here? None of that explains why you break your rules in the first place. So that's why I want you to imagine your brain as a government, as a biological parliament. And in that government, there are ministers that have different jobs. And every minister wants something different. The security minister, representing your amygdala, this guy is obsessed with safety, and his entire job is to protect us. When markets become volatile, when you're in drawdown, when you're about to lose money, he becomes very loud. And his priorities are to scan for danger, to avoid pain, protect the capital, to get out now. So imagine you're holding a trade, the setup is still valid, but price pulls back slightly. And the security minister immediately stands up and says, something is wrong. Take profits. Get out before it gets worse. Sound familiar? Now, the Treasury Minister, on the other hand, representing your dopamine system, the Treasury Minister gives us the opposite problem. You see, the Treasury Minister wants growth, expansion, opportunity, more, bigger. His priorities are to chase the upside, okay? Seek rewards, find opportunities. And this is the voice saying, increase your size, or take another trade, or one more setup, or let's make this a huge thing. And this is the system behind FOMO trading, over trading, chasing moves. It craves possibility, but it often ignores risk. Now, the strategist, representing your prefrontal cortex, this is the minister we all think is running the show. The strategist, his priorities are long-term thinking, risk management, probability, planning, execution, all of the good stuff. Okay, this is the part of your brain that built the trading plan in the first place. But the problem, the strategist doesn't always win the vote, especially under stress. And finally, the people minister, representing your social brain. And this one surprises traders because we think trading is individual. It's not. Humans evolved as social animals. The people minister constantly asks, what will people think? How do I compare? Do I look successful? And this explains things like posting P&L online, or comparing yourself to, traders on X, or feeling embarrassed after losses, and feeling pressure to prove yourself. So sometimes traders aren't trying to make money, they're trying to protect their identity. Now, here's where things get interesting. So above the parliament is the weather system. The weather is hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, testosterone, serotonin, oxytocin, and weather changes how everybody votes. So imagine two versions of the same trader, same strategy, same setup, same account, but one trader slept 8 hours, he's relaxed, had a good week, but the other slept only 4 hours. Maybe they had an argument, they're stressed, is in drawdown. Do you think they see the same setup? No, because the weather changed, the parliament changed, the vote changed. Let's say you take 2 losses and now a third setup appears. What happens? Well, the security minister says, be careful. The people minister says, you can't lose again. The treasury minister says, we need to make the money back. Meanwhile, the strategist is sitting there saying, this setup has positive expectancy, but he's getting drowned out. Eventually, a coalition forms. Maybe fear wins. So you hesitate, you miss the trade. Or maybe urgency wins. You oversize, or maybe you do everything right. The strategist wins, you execute normally. So the chart was identical, but the coalition was different. Now for the biggest insight that changed how I think about discipline totally. See, most traders will try to silence the ministers. They fight their emotions. They fight fear, fight greed, fight stress. But the parliament doesn't work like that. Okay? You don't remove ministers. You manage the conditions. And the goal isn't to eliminate fear. The goal is to create conditions where the strategist consistently wins the votes. And that's a completely different objective. The goal is to create conditions where the strategist consistently wins the votes. Okay, that's a completely different objective. All right, so we look at the bad conditions: poor sleep, constant distractions, large drawdown, emotional stress, no training plan. Compare that to the good conditions: good sleep, clear rules, risk limits, quiet environment, journal reviews. Of course, we're going to get two totally different outcomes. So, how do we help the strategist? Well, create systems. The strategist loves structure. All right, predefined entries, predefined risk, predefined exits. Okay, resulting in less decision fatigue. All right, giving you more confidence. Good sleep. All right, sleep weakens emotional noise, and now the strategist gets a louder microphone, giving you better focus, better decisions. Risk limits. All right, smaller position sizes will actually help you reduce the threat signals being sent by the security minister, by the amygdala. Okay, the security minister becomes calmer. All right, less fear, more rationality. Journaling exposes your voting patterns. Okay, you begin seeing which minister hijacks your decisions. This awareness creates freedom to choose. And finally, your environment design is crucial. Remove unnecessary stress, reduce your distraction, reduce your noise, okay? Making your decisions far, far easier. And here, discipline becomes the default. So remember, when the strategist has the microphone, you make better decisions, giving you the results that you're after, whether it's passing that funded account, growing your account, or reaching that milestone payout, whatever it may be. So, to end this video, to sum up, you are not fighting the market. Okay, you're managing a parliament. You're managing different systems with different agendas. Okay, your job is not to become emotionless. It's not to eliminate the different ministers, but to build a system where the strategist consistently forms the winning coalition. Because it's a coalition of biology, of your memory, of hormones, of stress, experience. And when you understand the parliament, that's where real trading psychology begins. And you stop asking yourself, what's wrong with me? And you start asking, what conditions are influencing the vote? Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.